the way up to Gujarat, there are going to be mock drills along the border areas. What's the thought process behind that?
Well, the last time there was a mock drill on May 7th, I remember we were sitting on May 6th, exactly on this show, and I said, what if that is a decoy? Look, it's quite clear. Let's be honest about this. It's quite clear that we need to be in a state of readiness because all bets are not off. Pakistan hasn't demonstrated visibly any either contrition or any sign that it is willing to give up its old bad ways, its malevolent ways. So India needs to be on top alert. We also need to build psychological pressure. All of these are also psyops, in some senses, that why is India, after all, the ripple effect in Pakistan will be, we'll have to keep looking over our heads now. Kya ginne wala upar se, loitering ammunition will come and bomb us.
And they don't even have defenses.
They don't have defenses right now. So obviously this is one way of keeping the opponent guessing. But more importantly, I think it's a realistic assessment. I think even the Indian government realizes that, look, for now, for 2-3 months, you might actually have some peace. But as you heard the DG BSF say yesterday, that there was once again a terror build-up at the launch pad. So it's only a matter of time before infiltration takes place. Now, you can't tell me that, under these circumstances, etc., the border should be absolutely impenetrable because the terrain doesn't allow it. So at some point or the other, some 2 or 3 people might sneak in, or some sleeper agents who have already come in, and that the 4 Pahalgam accused are still on the loose, they might strike. So fundamentally, we have a problem. The nature of the deterrence that India has sought to invoke has been successful to a degree. You are at least seeing Pakistan at least offer peace, dialogue, talks. They want us to come back to the table, etc. But fundamentally, as I said, the nature of Pakistan's state has not been altered by these strikes and their association with terror groups. Even today, there are pictures coming out.
These developments have happened about two, three factors. One, the ME has confirmed that there are families, diplomatic families, who are saying their relatives are missing. 3 Indians are missing in Iran. Now, clearly, there could be some mischief afoot which the Pakistanis may be responsible. Secondly, there are rumored reports of, like you said, not just the BSF saying there is terror build-up along the LOC. So then, is this preemptive cleaning that we may just extermination of certain pests that could happen earlier? So perhaps is there one. And third, are some of these terror sarganas on the radar? Are they coming back to those terror hubs? And is there some punitive punishment that could be on the offing? Because like you said, does this also tell the world that Bharat has pressed the pause button, but does not mean that we can't play the button again? Because Op Sindoor is still on.
Yeah, still on, and the government has said so. And the government has also set a red line for Pakistan. Look, if there is going to be a dialogue, first on the dialogue issue, if there's going to be a dialogue, it's only going to be on 2 issues. Number 1, on POK. When are you going to hand it back? And number 2, when are you going to dismantle your terror infrastructure? So that's one part of it. That's one red line that has been drawn in the stone for Pakistan. The second one is, if this is repeated ever again on Indian soil,
it's an act of war.
It's going to be seen as an act of war, and we will respond at the level we choose to respond. So this time we may not even make a distinction between terror infrastructure and the Pakistan terror state.
If there is a terrorist build-up which is happening on the line of control,
it is happening, because that's the DG
if that is happening. So then does that give Bharat the right, because that's declared sovereign territory of our country? So does that then become hot pursuit or preemptive action?
So this was a question that I posed yesterday at the 9 o'clock show on Hard Facts to some of the military experts. And they were of the opinion that because it's an ongoing operation, you see, legalese matters. That's why these terms have been picked. If it is an ongoing operation, India can take action in its own self-interest at any point in time. So fundamentally, Anand, you see where India left itself this elbow room.
Right.
And this elbow room that it has left itself not only gives it diplomatic space. And remember what Shashi Tharoor said today.
Yeah, I was coming to that only,
What he says, that next time we strike, you will know where we are coming from, so you'll automatically support us. He was speaking in one of the Latin American countries.
There is this aji-baji going on between the Congress and also Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Now, Pawan Khera has just tweeted and he's turned around and said, former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, many surgical strikes conducted under the UPA. CC at Shashi Tharoor. So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi attacking PM Modi, and this was an old, this one that's now been put out, saying that Bharat conducted multiple surgical strikes even in the past. It's just that we didn't go about making such a big noise about it. Where do you stand on this, and is it possible, or when you look at the Tharoor aspect, let's start from there and then we'll take it forward. Yeah.
So, I think fundamentally, not only is the Congress fighting Tharoor, but it is also fighting now Bharat. Let's be honest about it. Is patriotism such a problem for the Congress party? What is Mr. Tharoor doing? Mr. Tharoor, whether it is actually Mr. Tharoor, and let's look at the maturity of some of our political opposition leaders today. Abhishek Banerjee, what has he been saying? In Southeast Asia, he has been making it very clear that, look, I am today speaking. We might have our differences at home, but today I am speaking as an Indian representing my country. I am an ambassador for my country. I am going to put my country's best case forward. We stand as one. This has been said by Owaisi Sahab, who has not only gone to the extent of defending India's interests, but has taken on Pakistan and exposed it for the lying charlatan that it is, the terror state that it is, the terror tanzeem that it is. Thirdly, most importantly, you have people like Manish Tiwari, who also, and Salman Khurshid, Supriya Sule, all have contradicted the Congress line, chutput line, right?
Correct.
And now you have Shashi Tharoor, who is really the Kohinoor within the Congress party on external affairs. He is also the member of the head of the standing committee, as you know, on foreign relations and foreign affairs in Parliament. He is representing India's cause, and you're shooting him in the back, saying that he's a BJP national super spokesperson. I mean, come on. It just shows the churlishness within the Congress, and we had that conversation yesterday.
Yeah, so let's take this forward. And to viewers, one of the things is nobody is calling the Congress party wrong, etc. But the larger aspect of whether it was, myopic in the past, that these historical mistakes are something that we as current generation and Bharat today is continuing to pay the price of. Some historical issues, people like Nishikant Dubey have been putting out document after document as the archives are being declassified about what Congress leaders' position was. General Vij, who I was speaking with, he said that the Bharat of the 90s and the 70s is different from the Bharat of 2025 because this Bharat is the fourth largest economy. It's a stronger nation. It can take its own position and say, in the past it used to succumb to pressure or global pressures that would come. Now, would you say that it's a process of evolution of a nation that you would come under pressure, nations would come under pressure? Or would you say that there was not a collective national security doctrine or something that would outline what Bharat needed to do? When there were others who said that Bharat is going to have certain issues with China, there are going to be issues with Pakistan, and also we need to keep a close eye on Bangladesh. Was the leadership of that day not cognizant of this? Were they being myopic?
I think more than myopic, they were being sentimental. They had romanticized relationships between various countries, and that's the conversation we were having in the newsroom just about 3 hours back, Anand, where we were talking about these issues and we were trying to decode why we messed up. Like, let's, for example, look at the UNSC blunder. Now, you were being offered. Now, I know there is no express offer on the table, but then Prime Minister Nehru wrote to all the chief ministers to say that, look, there has been an informal offer for us to be the permanent members of the United Nations Security Council.
Right.
But I'm turning it down because the first right, being the larger, greater country, is for China. Now, at that time, Mr. Nehru had been carried away by this India-China, bhai-bhai, Chini, bhai-bhai, bilateralism, as some people have called it, right? And he was so carried down the river, so romanticized this whole business of, we are non-aligned and all the Bandung summit and everything. All of that didn't make him myopic. It made him lose sight of the facts. And you're right, had there been, or maybe there were, look, we can't be unfair on certain people who might have been part of his own either cabinet or the bureaucracy that must have said, hang on, just pull back a little bit, your romantic pink rose.
See, I'll tell you what, Rahul. If there are errors that have been made in the past, then those errors must be accepted. It was his own daughter, Indira Gandhi, who pushed forth with this entire aspect agenda. She was made to wait in the US by the US president at that time, but she made the world sit up and take notice of Bharat. She didn't succumb to pressure. She ensured Pakistan was split. There was Bangladesh that was liberated and born. But then what happened after that? So successive leaders, did they fulfill an objective and forget the long-term goal? Why is it that the Chinese follow, or the CCP continues to follow the doctrine laid down by Mao Zedong in 1949, and they continue to do it? They want to achieve it by 2049, maybe advance it a few years, but that's what and every leader, one after the other, has done what is required to be able to get to that blueprint or to implement that blueprint. Bharat doesn't have a vision like that, despite the fact that across the political spectrum, from a Vinayak Damodar Savarkar there to a Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose to a Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar to a Sardar Patel, across saddling the entire political spectrum, they said, and they have repeatedly said between 1935 and 1945, that China is the biggest enemy, and we need to draw the borders clearly. So, we need to see that Pakistan is brought to that. So then how is it that you can say that, oh, Mr. Nehru lost sight?
Because I'll tell you, the way the Congress party has behaved when it has been in power has been like a supplicant in the court of the Gandhis. The entire Congress system, whether it's government, etc., supplicated at the feet of the Prime Minister, which inevitably a Nehru Gandhi. And their word mattered. That's all. You remember there was a huge controversy when a top leader came out and said, if you remember George Fernandez, that China was India's enemy number one. Who shouted him down the most? To the Congress system.
Now we got one more as we are speaking. This entire thing about Kannada emerging out of Tamil and Kamal Haasan stoking another row and saying that what I said was out of love. Now sometimes are they saying it because they have a movie releasing and they want to create this one? The other one is, if we as a nation are going to get caught, and he says I will not apologize. He's saying what I have said is out of love. He's responding to the language row, and he's saying that I will not apologize. Let's listen to what Kamal Haasan is saying.
And many Kannada groups are protesting this. There is protest happening in Karnataka, and Kannada Rakshana Vedike has said that if you don't apologize, they will be boycotting the movie Thug Life. Your reaction to that?
See, they are confusing the issue. I think what I said was said out of love, and with a lot of historians who've taught me language history, and that I didn't mean anything. And let me tell you, Tamil Nadu is a place which has been open. I don't say that there's no other state like that, but very rare state where a Menon has been our chief minister. A Reddy has been our chief minister. Tamilan has been chief minister. Then a Kannadiga Iyengar has been our chief minister from Mandya. When there was a problem in Chennai, which came...
Politicians are not qualified on talking about languages, including me, because he himself is a politician. He is referring to Jayalalitha, he is referring to MGR and all the others, saying that Tamil Nadu has accepted people from different states. Quick word as we have to wind up. We are ready with plain speak. Yeah.
India started this whole parochial argument over language. They're caught in their own Chakravyu. That's the way I see it. Yeah. India versus India here, two states ruled by the India Alliance.
Right.
And look what they've got themselves into.
Well, and as we wind up, 2.5 lakh people will perform yoga together at one place in Pune. This will be, the minister's presence will be there, and it will create a world record on the 21st of June on the occasion of World Yoga Day. The Yoga Day program will be organized in Vishakhapatnam's Coastal Road. Andhra Pradesh's Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu will also be doing yoga with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 21st of June.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Today we turn the spotlight on the scandal that's shaking the very foundations of Indian judiciary. In a case that has stunned the legal and political establishment, Justice Yashwant Verma who has been tasked to deliver justice, is now at the center of a massive cash haul indictment. A huge amount of unaccounted for cash was recovered from his house. Videos of burnt notes were found at his home, which sent shockwaves across the country. The recovery sparking a national outcry and a furious debate about accountability in the highest echelons of justice. Now, the Supreme Court in-house panel has indicted Justice Yashwant Verma. The panel, which was formed by the Chief Justice of India on March 22, found merit in allegations and has gathered testimony from various witnesses during the inquiry. The committee report has been sent